All right, how do y'all like my newfangled setup? I have wooden bench on top of wooden bench and tarot uh, deck box, and then the gigantic tarot card sitting on top of the smaller tarot card box. Still have to figure out where my bendable tripod is, but until then, gotta make do, gotta make do. So we are in our seventh reading from, let me see if I can get this over here, the Book of Tokens. I have a little bit more time, so I figure I'd go ahead and do this other live stream. Anything to avoid having to do the dishes. I mean, okay, it's more like delaying doing the dishes. I have dishes to do, and I think my son is doing a class or he's doing something with his friends on Zoom. Okay, so greetings, Vicky. Thank you for being here. So our last reading was on the lovers, and this reading is on the Chariot, number 7, meditation on Chet. And this is by Paul Foster Case. Meditation on Chet. I am the hedge of protection enclosing the field of existence. In this field thou dwellest, and I am thy defense against the darkness which is without. Yet is this hedge of safety also a wall of limitation? And the darkness against which it defendeth thee is the radiant darkness of the limitless light, too brilliant for thine eyes. Let's want to read that one more time. I am the hedge of protection, enclosing the field of existence. In this field thou dwellest, and I am thy defense against the darkness which is without. Yet is this hedge of safety also a wall of limitation, and the darkness against which it defendeth thee is the radiant darkness of the limitless light, too brilliant for thine eyes. For within the wall of limitation is the field of mine activity in the world of manifestation. This also is that which the wise calleth. That also is that which the wise call the path of the house of influence. For into it descendeth the influx of my power. Because it seemeth to be set apart, it is also the field of sin and punishment, because limitation is the root of failure, and sin is but the missing of the target of perfection. Yet as the archer gaineth skill by reason of aiming again and again at his mark, though in the beginning he missed it 1,000 times, so doth the fruit of sin, which men call punishment, perfect the skill of my chosen ones. Behold, sin and punishment are one, and the fire of punishment is the fire that refineth my works. Even in the sinner, I am the actor, and I, too, am the sufferer in the experience of punishment. Thy pain is my pain, thy suffering my suffering. Thy sorrows pierce my heart, thine anguish is mine anguish. I stand not aloof, unmoved, watching my handiwork, as a potter watcheth the clay upon his wheel. Nay, not so, for I am the clay, and the wheel, and the potter too. I am the work and the worker, and the means of working. Take heed lest ye mistake these words. Be not deluded by false reasonings. They err who say, the Lord is the doer of all, therefore may we do what pleaseth us, for we can do naught of ourselves. Know that the error of their thought is the folly that any man do what pleaseth him. This false reasoning is rooted in the delusion of separateness. The appearance of separateness cometh of necessity from my self-manifestation. The delusion from it is the root of sin and pain, yet the delusion passeth with the completion of the work for which I enter into manifestation. And because nothing can prevail against me, even the worst of sinners shall come in their appointed time to liberation. If thou canst grasp it, that liberation consisteth in the breaking down and utter destruction of the hedge of protection, which encircleth thee and guardeth thee from the terror of the darkness which is without. For when the work is finished in the field of Het, when the abode of influence hath served its purpose, then shalt thou know, O Israel, that thou hast not to fear, not to be guarded against. Then shall the dreadful darkness be revealed to thy perfected vision as the flashing radiance of light limitless. And from the field of sin and punishment thou shalt pass into the boundless freedom of my divine protection. And one thing I wanted to share that I would always think about whenever I would read this, and I didn't get around to sharing it. O Israel, Israel. What I learned in Hebrew school, for lack of a better word, Israel means like one who wrestles with God. So in this sense, this is not speaking of the physicality of Israel or those of the Jewish faith, because Paul Foster Case wasn't Jewish, and I don't think his main audience was Jewish, but Israel in the metaphysical sense of those who wrestle with God, those who were seekers of the truth and wanting to know the truth. So wherever you hear, oh, Israel, you think of yourself as one who is wrestling with the, idea of God, meaning source, life, the divinity within. So I just wanted to add that little note. And I don't know, I almost feel compelled to create a simplified English version of this book, because all of the th and th and est in this book can be a little bit cumbersome, as humanity continues to advance and our technology continues to rise. Our intellectualism, and especially our use of words, becomes more and more simplified. One way of putting it, I wouldn't say dumbing down, but we certainly do not write the same way we did 200 years ago, where we use really big words and very eloquent. I do miss those days, though. I do miss those days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and until next time, keep this short and sweet, and thank you for being here. Peace.